So here's the plan. On the left of your screen, we will have a spinning wheel. And on the bottom right, you will have a timer. So we're going to be doing 3-minute sets. And in those 3 minutes, you're going to be doing as many rounds as possible on 3 exercises. All right. So the one that just came up on the screen is bicep curl, overhead press, and chainsaw row. When we start, you're going to start on 1 rep of everything. So it'll be 1 bicep curl with your weight, your kettlebell. All right. 1 bicep curl. It'll be 1 overhead press, and then it'll be 1 chainsaw row. Then we add 1 rep. So it'll be 2 bicep curls, 2 overhead press, 2 chainsaw row, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, and go as far through that as you can after for the 3 minutes. At the 3-minute mark, we have a 30-second breather. The wheel will spin again with 3 new exercises, or possibly the same ones again. There's 6 blocks to choose from. Make a quick note of the rep that you were on when you finished, because when you come back to this, you pick up where you left off. That's what the pen and paper is for. So if you haven't got a pen and paper, just run and grab one now. And then it's just handy to have because there's 6 blocks. You may get confused. Don't freak out if you don't get the reps right. It's okay. The idea is just to pick up where you leave off. All right. So that's the first block of exercises. So I'll just go through the exercises that you'll see pop up on the screen, or may not pop up on the screen because the wheel mightn't choose it. So we've got a push-up, we've got a burpee, and we've got a half man maker. So a chest to the floor on the push-up. Then it's chest on the floor for a burpee. And then a half man maker is a rear lunge, knee to floor, a rear lunge, knee to floor, and a squat. Okay. So again, it's a push-up for 1, a burpee for 1, and 1 of those half man makers. And then it's 2 push-ups, 2 burpees, 2 half man makers. The next one is a pistol squat, a step up, and a rear elevated split squat. So you're holding the kettlebell or not, it's up to you. Pistol squat is a single leg squat to the chair. A step up is a single leg step up on the chair. And a rear elevated split squat is a single leg squat with your back foot elevated on the chair. So that one obviously incorporates the chair into every movement you do, with or without the kettlebell. Again, it's up to you. The next one you're going to find is a swing, a snatch, a thruster. So it's a kettlebell swing for 1, then it's a kettlebell snatch for 1, and then it's a kettlebell thruster for 1. Then it's swing it for 2, snatch it for 2, thruster for 2, and so on and so forth over 3 minutes. The next one we have is a core row, flat on your back, sit up and hug your knees. Reverse crunch, feet go to the sky, hips come off the floor, and sky reacher, sit up, 2 hands above the head to the sky. Bicep curl, overhead press, and chainsaw row, as we just covered. And the last one in the 6 blocks is, let me just check my notes, is a windmill, an overhead rear lunge, and a hang clean. So windmill is the bell is up nice and high, running the hand down the leg, keep an eye on that bell, squeeze the abs, come back up tall. Overhead rear lunge, same hand holding the bell, governs the same leg going back into a rear lunge. And then the last one in that, I've forgotten which it was, is your hang clean. So the bell will start. Hang basically means the bell doesn't touch the floor. It goes down as far as the knees. And then you're driving the hips back into place and the bell comes to the chest. Back to the knees, up to the chest. So the bell never touches the floor. That's the hang element of the movement. Don't worry if you didn't get them all. You'll pick them up very quickly. If you have any questions, any problems, just unmute and shout at me, or have a look at me as I do the exercises. When you're finished with 3 minutes, in that 30-second window, I'll run up and spin the wheel again, and then we'll find our next 3, and you just make a little note of where you left off, because then we pick back up should we hit that block later on again in the workout. So if you have any questions now, unmute and shout at me. Otherwise, mute yourselves there, and we'll get into our warm-up. I think I explained all that enough. If not, always ask questions. Okay, so we're just going to start with some squats. Feet shoulder width, toes turned out, drop through the hips. Big inhale as we drop, exhale as we push ourselves back up through the soles of the feet. So as we go through the reps, we're looking to dial in that technique. The feet are shoulder width, the toes are turned out, the knees are pushed out to the side like there's a big beach ball in between your 2 knees. You're using the whole sole of the foot in the floor, kind of corkscrewing the sole of that foot into the floor as you're pushing yourself away, keeping the body as upright as possible, keeping the abs tight, and increasing the range and the depth in which the hips move with every rep. So we don't expect to be able to get to the bottom of the squat with the first rep. We work our way to it over a series of reps. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is Russian baby makers. So we're gonna drop into a squat, push our knees out with our elbows, hook our fingers under our toes, raise our hips nice and high, good stretch on the hamstrings and lower back, and then sit ourselves back down into that squat again. And then raise the hips up high again. All the while, fingers are under the toes. So it's 3 high, 3 low, staying in that stretch. Really exaggerate the knees being pushed out with the elbows and the hamstrings and lower back stretching out at the top. Okay, so we're going to channel our inner break dancer now, and we're going to go onto the back on the floor. Knees are bent, feet are hip width, drive the hips up into the sky. So there's only ever 3 exercises you have to deal with. As you get tired, the body starts to look for shortcuts. That's when you have to stop, reassess, and put controls in place to make sure that the body moves the way you want it to move, as opposed to the way it wants to move, because it wants to move in the quickest manner possible to get through the movement pattern. But remember, you're doing these movements to target specific muscle groups. And if you let the body take shortcuts, you're not going to hit those specific muscle groups. So you got to really dial it in. So if necessary, scale it back, slow down the tempo, reduce the weight, introduce support structures, and start playing around with the range of movement. Okay, let's take one leg off the floor now and just isolate one side doing the bridging. That's the one. So there are 6 blocks today. Change. We're aiming to get through 12 rounds. So it's 3 minutes on, 30 seconds off. So it works out about 41 minutes all in. But that's not to say that each block will come twice. You might get one block appearing 12 times for all we know. All right, back to 2 legs. Hopefully it won't be the case. And on average, we'll get each one done twice. It might be one that pops up 3 times, one that pops up once. But again, it's all about lady luck. What you will be guaranteed is a decent workout, full body, and high tempo. Okay, arms out, crucifix, legs out nice and straight now. You're going to raise one leg up into the air, cross the body. A few clicks and cracks as it happens, that's fine. Bring it back, put it down, change to the other side. So we're keeping our shoulder blades on the floor because we do not want the shoulders lifting and going with the leg. If anything, we want them going the opposite direction because we want to twist that spine independently of the lower body. Think peppermill. Twisty spine is a healthy spine. Or it could be a broken spine. No, it's not. If it's broken, you'd be in pain. Good, so we're just rotating as much as possible. It will catch your breath at the peak. That's fine. It just means it's really twisting and compromising the skeletal system. Okay, we've got our bridging. Okay, now it's time for hip flexors. So we flip around into the high plank position. Hands beneath the shoulders. Bring the left foot forward beside the left hand. You can drop the right knee onto the floor. And we're just going to push that knee out to the side and then rotate that arm. And we're looking for a stretch on the groin, hamstring on the bent leg, and the hip flexor on the front of the knee that's on the floor. And then we change other side. Right foot is forward, foot flat on the floor. If your heel is up, just push your foot a little wider. And then we have our rotation as well. So we're just rotating between left and right every 4, maybe 5 seconds. We want to keep the stretch and the warm-up dynamic. So dynamic basically means stretch, release, and that friction will cause the muscles to warm, the tendons to stretch, and the joints to lubricate. Whereas if you hold a stretch in a static stretch, you're actually going to lose the power in the muscles, and we don't want that. That's for the cool down. This is all about mobilizing and getting the body moving, ready for the stresses that we're going to put it under. All right. Okay, one more time. I'll throw some tunes on as well so you don't have to listen to my creepy breathing throughout the session. Okay, up we come. We're going to go into some lunges now. So feet hip width are on train tracks. Keep that width as we lunge forward, drop the knee to the floor, squeeze the abs, push yourselves back up. So again, if you're struggling with the range of movement on the lunge, bring in a support structure, be it a chair or a wall or a table or whatever it is, and just enables you to move in as much of a range as you possibly can to get the most out of the muscle. So range of movement, technique, always beats tempo. And also beats the weight, kilograms. All right. Okay, guys, so have your water nearby, have your pen and paper near your water. If you've any questions, oh, my water's empty. If you've any questions, shout at me now. If not, stay muted. I'm going to throw some tunes on. And then we will get going with our first block of exercises. All right, where are my tunes? Okay. All right, let's spin the wheel first. See what we got. What do we got? Okay, we got one kettlebell swing, one kettlebell snatch, one thruster, and then we add every rep to every round. Okay, we're starting with one swing in 5 seconds. Grab your bell. 3 minutes non-stop. Let's swing it. One swing, one snatch, one thruster, two swing, two snatch, two thruster, and so on and so forth. Remember, with the swing, with all three of these exercises, focal points are driving through the soles of the feet, keeping the shoulder blades pinned, and keeping the abs tight. Wow, I can see this one taking its toll very early on. Posture is key. Those shortcuts the body likes to take, first thing is the posture. That happens between the shoulder blades. Keep moving at your pace with the right technique. You can use one hand or two, up to you. Whew. Minute 10. And rest. So I'm just making a note. Swing 7. So I know when I start, I'm going to start on 8. Did that pop up again? And the next exercise coming up in 10 seconds is one push-up, one burpee, one half man maker. 5 seconds. Hit the floor. 3. Let's go. Lunge it, squat it. That's your man maker. Go back to 2 push-ups. Again, don't freak out if you mess up your rep count. Just keep moving. And do not sacrifice your technique for speed. When you're doing your push-up and your burpee, we're utilizing the whole palm of that hand. That's the ball of the hand, finger splayed, the gecko hand. 1 minute gone. Whew. Heart rate's up, halfway. Minute 15. 5 reps.
I like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly.
50 seconds, 5-0.
Stay awake while I'm asleep, 'cause my dreams are bursting at the seams. I like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I better stay awake while I'm asleep, 'cause everything is better as it seems. I like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I better stay awake while I'm asleep, 'cause everything is better as it seems. I like to make myself believe.
10 seconds.
It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake while I'm asleep, 'cause everything is better as it seems.
And rest, make a note. What's next? Whew. Oh, no way. Same again. Push up burpee, half man maker. Pick up where you left off. 10 seconds. Burpee number 2. All right, let's go. And don't freak out that the reps are gonna slow down. That's normal. As fatigue takes hold. Halfway. Whew. Keep moving. That's all we do. Keep moving. Don't forget those scaling options, support structure, change of range of movement, or play with the resistance level. 8 push-ups. Yeah. And rest. All right, what's next? Whew. Bicep curl, overhead press, chainsaw row. Grab your weight, 10 seconds. Heart rate's up. Let's go, one curl, one overhead press, one chainsaw row. That's two curl, full extension, full contraction. When you're doing your chainsaw row, take that extra second to get your posture right before you do the row.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had.
1 minute gone. Keep moving.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah. Yes, I can. Tell that I leave with his plan. Pull me, grab me, and the monkey can't have me. I'll be the president one day. January 1st, over like that, guys.
Halfway. Everything we do, you're focusing on a specific muscle group. Don't just swing the body into it.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had.
1 minute.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling.
Woo. Those abs are important on the curl and on the press.
Sometimes I get a good feeling.
Rest. Okay, curl.
I get a feeling that I never
Never had before. No.
I get a good feeling.
All right, what's next? Next 3 minutes of our life is going to be dedicated to swing snatch thruster. Pick up where we left off. I was on 7. I'm going to start my set with 8 swings. Whatever your equivalent is, higher or lower, 3 seconds away, and let's swing it. Remember, with these 3 exercises, the main driving force is the hip leg extension. Moving in all the planes that we were gifted with, including a 747. No one said it was going to be easy. That's why you're doing it. Halfway. One minute. Whew. Okay, 10. Thirty seconds. And rest. Whew. All right, give me something new. Core row. Arms and legs fully extended, flat on your back. Sit up and hug your knees. Reverse crunch, feet to sky, hips off the floor. Sky reacher, 2 hands to the sky. Let's go. Let's go now. Up and hug for 1. Reverse crunch for 1. Sky reacher for 1. And then everything for 2. 3 minutes is a long time when you're focusing on the abs, especially when you're time under tension on the core is pretty dialed in. Doing yesterday's ab work and Wednesday's ab work already. Oh well, no pain, etc., etc. So we're trying to take the swing out of the movement and put as much on the abs as possible. Slow it down, 1 minute to go, or 1 minute gone, 2 to go. Sorry about that. False hope. Halfway mark. Again, don't freak out if you lose count. It's normal when you get tired. Woo. 1 minute.
Give it to me, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it. I'm worth it. Give me, I'm worth it. Give it to me, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it.
Ay, ay, ay.
I'm worth it. Give me,
There's the burn.
Show me that joke. With it. Stop playing, now you know that I'm with it. What you have to shop for?
25 seconds.
Give me you. That's all I wanna do. And if what they say is true, if it's true, I'm not giving it to you. I'll take a lot of stuff. can back it up. I think I'ma go with luck. Hurry up, I'm waiting out front. See me in the spotlight, ooh, I love your style. Show me what you got, 'cause I don't wanna waste my time. See me in the spotlight, ooh, I love your style. Show me what you got now, come on, make it worth my while. Give it to me,
4, 7. All right, what's next? I don't want core again just yet. Swing, snatch, thruster. It's the wheel's favorite. And we're in the second half now. Starting the second half, it seems, the way we started the first half. So I'm on 10 swings to start. Let's go. 11, we'll go with 10. Those abs, they are already making themselves known. Remember, each exercise you start, you're going to be fatigued more from the previous block of exercises. You might have to scale it accordingly. That's not a bad thing. It's a sign that all the other muscles are working. Deliberate movements, control of the body, control of the bell at all times. It should never be out of control at any point during a lift. Now that the abs are warm, focus on them. Visualize how much you actually need them during this lift, this sequences of lifts. Minute 20 to go. One minute. So I've slowed down my technique, my tempo somewhat in order to keep my technique dialed in and the correct muscles lifting. That extra half a second to a second before a lift starts is crucial. Last 10. What is next on the wheel? What have we not had yet? 2 in there that we haven't had yet. And here's bicep curl, overhead press, chainsaw row. I'm starting on 9. Woo. If you need it. Let's go. We left off. Focus on the biceps and the abs. Full extension, full contraction.
Showing off for new things, couldn't take it off, so I gave her chain. She called me top shot, yeah, I keep a few things. Champion sound, yeah, I got a few rings, and I'm all the way up, all the way up. And you can stay up, and you can stay up. And if you
I am warm now. Remember that control on the way down, on the row, and on the press, and on the curl. Never let gravity take over. Lower down to gravity, sorry, through gravity, under your control. Coming on halfway.
What you need for the game, we ain't never leave. Counting up this money, we ain't never sleeping. You got feet 12 like a 12 beat. Got bottles, got I'm all the way up. What you want, I got what you need. Shawty, what you want, I got what you need. Shawty, what you want, I got what you need. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up.
55 seconds. Talking to myself now. As long as I don't answer, I'm all good. Keep those abs tight on the curls. Oh man. Okie doke. What's up next? Okay, first time for this. Windmill, overhead rear lunge, hang clean. Get the bell in your right hand. Spread your feet nice and wide. Extend that bell above your head. Turn the left toe out. Put your hand on the inside of the left leg. Down as low as you can. Keep an eye on that bell. And then come back up. Bell above the head, the feet nice and wide. For a right knee to floor overhead lunge. And then we're gonna go hang clean. And then we're back to the windmill for 2. See how it all comes back like a windmill. Remember that bell in the windmill is a full glass of water on a tray. If it starts to fall backwards or forwards, it's time to come back up. Don't go so low. That's playing with the range of movement. Abs are so important on all 3 of these exercises. And with the cleans, you're never pulling, you're only ever driving with the hips and legs. Oh, that takes it out of you. Whee! Kettlebell flow. Halfway. Take your time. Whew. Inside the last 60 on this. and rest. Okay. 6. Our third, fourth last, 1, 2, 8, 9, yeah. Third last. Pistol squat, step up, rear elevated. Go without kettlebell for the first few. See how you get on. Standing in front of the chair, raise one leg in the air, that's drop. If you need a support structure like a wall, that's fine. I'm load bearing on my left foot for all of round 1, and I'm gonna switch and do everything with the right foot on round 2. Where's the chair? Remember what I said about control? You should be controlling the hips into the chair at all times. Driving aggressively into the chair to get up onto it, as opposed to pushing yourself up with the foot that's on the floor. Then you should be pushing yourself away on the split squat with the foot that's on the floor. The leg that's on the chair doesn't exist as far as you're concerned. And abs play such a big role on this in order to maintain that stability and posture. Whew. Even at this stage, it's massively exhausting, even without a bell, because I'm focusing so much on the muscles being used and the correct technique, as opposed to just bodging it out with a swinging body. Slow it down. If you're feeling it right, you should be feeling it on the quad, the ass cheek, and the hamstring, and also the lungs. Try not to swing yourself off the chair. Try and drive through the sole of the foot rigidly. Come off the chair. So much more tiring. We're over halfway. And control the descent at all times. You get the best return from controlling the descent. Basically, when you're working with gravity, that's when you get the best return, when you resist against the pull of gravity and go down on your own terms. And then break through the stratosphere, getting away from the gravity. Oh, all right. 25. Don't let the heel come off the floor. You're pushing through the whole foot at all times on all 3 exercises. And as you get tired, you're gonna need a support. Heel in front on the pistol squats is a really handy tool from a support perspective. And then the hands on the back of the chair are a wall for the step ups and the rear elevated split squat. Here comes the sweat. No need for a weight on this one, in my opinion, now, because the fatigue levels are up so high. Woo. And rest. All right, what's that? 6. Pistol. 6. All righty. Second last set of exercises. Second or third last? 8, 9, 10. Yeah, second last. Windmill, overhead rear lunge and a hang clean. And I'm starting on 6. Grab your bell, hold it above the head, feet nice and wide. Turn the opposite toe to the hand out. Woo. Let's go. Abs isn't as much an ab exercise. Actually, it's more of an ab exercise than it is other muscles.
Oh my God, Becky, look at
Oh, gotta keep
her
up there.
It's so big. She looks like one of those rep guys' girlfriends. But who understands those rap guys? They only talk to her because she looks like a prostitute, okay? I mean, her face is just so big.
Oh, man.
Just so round. Out there. I mean, gross. Look. She's
Most
just
powerful muscles in the body are the glutes, the hamstrings, the quads, the core, whew, and the lats. So basically, from the knees to the chest, predominantly on the back of the body. So use those hips like a slingshot. Oh man, that's exhausting. All right, windy mill. It's not the highest tempo session today, but it is tiring. It is focused. It is deliberate movement.
Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake that healthy butt. Baby got back with the open. Baby got back with the open. I like them round and big. And when I'm doing
1 minute.
I just can't help myself. I'm acting like an animal. Now here's my scandal. I want to get you home. Double up.
Oh, wow.
I ain't talking about Playboy, cause silicone parts
Black,
are made for
blanking.
toys. I want them real thick and juicy, so find that juicy double. Makes a lot in trouble, begging for a piece of that butter. So I'm looking at
Remember with the clean, you're never pulling. You're driving, floor away.
you can have them bimbos. I'll keep my women like Flojo. A word to the 6 old sisters, I wanna get with ya. I won't cuss or hit ya, but I gotta be straight when I say I wanna. Till the break of dawn, baby got it going on. A lot of simps won't like this song, but them punks like to hit it and quit it. And I'd rather stay and play, cause I'm wrong and I'm strong.
Last round coming up very shortly.
Ladies, ladies, you wanna roll my Mercedes? Then turn around, stick it out. Even white boys got to shout. A baby got back. Baby got back.
Rest.
Yeah, baby. When it comes to female, Cosmo ain't got nothing.
All right, here we go. The last round,
36,
the last 3 minutes.
36.
What do we got?
Only if she's
Bicep curl, overhead press, chainsaw row.
the Honda, playing workout cakes by Fonda.
Okay,
Fonda ain't got a
I can live with that.
Honda.
13, 14 reps.
Don't want none unless you
We'll do a little bit of stats while we're doing
You
this.
can do side
Woo!
bend sit-ups, but please don't lose that.
All right, here we go. Last 3 minutes. Curling.
And tell you that the butt
This is the third occurrence of this block.
and leave it, and I pull up quick to retrieve it. So Cosmo says you're fat. Well, I ain't down with that.
The swing, snatch, thruster also had 3, which meant that the core row and the pistol squat only had 1. Ah, so that shows how lady looks. I'll take a bite out of you. Okay, overhead press.
He had game, but he chose to hit him, and I pull up quick to get with him. So ladies, if the butt is round and you want a triple X go down, dial 1-900 mix a lot and kick them nasty thoughts. Baby got back.
You're 2 minutes and 18 seconds away.
Baby got back. Little in the middle, but she got much back. Little in the middle, but she got much back. Little in the middle, but she got much back.
I dare you to find a muscle
Little in the middle, but she got much
that hasn't been worked today. Yeah, cue the tirade of, well, you know, there's the spondylosis muscle that didn't get worked. Workout muscle. All right, what's next? Bicep curls again. Last 90 seconds. Stay in control. Oh, wow. That is tough. Biceps are dead. Last 60 seconds coming up. And well out of your eyes. Grab some water. Chill out. Drop those tunes down nice and low. Okay. So we take a breather. And we'll get into our cool down stretches. Okay, breathing at all times in through nose, slowly. Holding it for a second. And again, with control, we exhale out the mouth. Let's get into a passive hang. So we're gonna go as wide as we can with our feet till the insides of those thighs start to get a bit of a stretch. Soften your knees. Keep your weight on your heels, stick your butt out the back. Hinge at the hips. And just let the backs of those hands, those knuckles, just hang on the floor. Don't support your body weight through the hands. If they want to go further as if through the floor, let them. Let the elbows bend. Thought I had a really weird localized tan right there. It's just a bit of rust and dirt from the kettlebell on my forearms. That would be weird. Okay. So breathing in through nose. Out through mouth. Slowing it all down, letting the body know it's coming to a finish. Breathe, 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 breathe. Every time we exhale, we become a little bit heavier. We become as passive as possible in a stretch. Never push or pull yourself into a cool down stretch. We try and just let the body sink into the stretch. Let the lower back stretch out. Let the hamstrings, the glutes, the shoulder blades, the shoulder sockets releasing their grip on the shoulders themselves. And from there, let's drop the left knee onto the floor. Put the right foot in front. 2 elbows or hands on that knee. And just tip the knee forward. Let the body weight just sink forward. And if that front heel comes off the floor, just keep it down by moving the foot another inch or 2 in front and then going into that stretch again. Primary focus here is on the hip flexor. Relaxing through the shoulder blades again. You'd be surprised how much the body holds itself in tension just without even realizing it. We are trying to basically wean the body off, tightening up. Just relax, 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 relax. So that was a tough workout. Like I'm reading the stats on my watch here and they're a little bit higher than Wednesdays and Mondays. Okay, change side. Which, if I was to compare the feeling I feel now compared to Wednesday and Monday, I feel a little bit less fatigued, shall we say, but more worked, if that makes sense. I think it's the fact that we got it into 3-minute blocks and continuously changing. So there was plenty of resistance in there, be it our own body weight or the kettlebell, and the non-stop resistance also has a major part to play. If the sets are small enough psychologically, we can go kind of more hammer and tongs. If the sets are, in our eyes, a bit longer, we tend to take a little bit more rest. And this is all subconscious. It's not like, you realize you're doing it until the end. Okay, up we come. So big breath in through the nose as you stand up. Exhale out the mouth. You might feel a little bit spinny. That's okay. It's normal. Just breathe through it and you'll come back around to an even keel very quickly. And that is your Friday. That's there to set you up for the weekend, guys. How are we feeling?